Hi, I'm Eric Becker, director of the Field Test Series. 2015 was a long year for our crew. We spent a lot of time on airplanes, bumping around on back roads, sitting in our dark office in Seattle editing into the wee hours, falling in creeks, wrecking drones, getting sunburns, and sometimes freezing our ass off. None of this is a complaint. We love our jobs. We know how incredibly lucky we are to basically get paid to travel around, take photos, and tell stories. This is more just the acknowledgement that any creative endeavor that you work hard on is gonna take something out of you. So for this field test, Barney and I have come to sunny Mexico to enjoy a little downtime, see the sights, and get some hands-on time with the Sony CyberShot RX100 IV. Barney, bienvenidos a Mexico.
Gracias.
What do we got here?
Well, Eric, what we got here is a Sony CyberShot RX100 IV, which is a little bit of a mouthful, I realize. It's the fourth camera in the RX100 series.
Yep.
It's definitely the most capable. The main selling point of this actually is its abilities as a hybrid product, so it can shoot 4K video up to 100 megabits per second. You're a film guy.
I'm a film guy, that's correct.
You could use this for broadcast quality footage.
Yep.
It also has a very fast frame rate of up to 16 frames a second. It has IAF, which is inherited from the Sony a7R Mark II, the much more expensive mirrorless product. This should, in theory, be perhaps the ideal travel camera.
Right.
And pretty much the only thing it doesn't have that you might really want is a little bit of a long zoom. It only searches from 24 to 70 millimeters, so you can't get those faraway details.
Coffee's here.
Oh, coffee's here. I'll shut up.
Tourism is about not having a goal. It's about wandering. This is the kind of camera you're gonna take when you just wander, right?
Yep. So we should just see what happens?
Let's just see what happens, man. Mexico, America's neighbor to the south. It can be roughly divided into two parts, places you can go and places you really shouldn't. Although often way overblown by the media, years of fighting between rival cartels has made entire states of the country too dangerous to travel. Others, however, are perfectly safe and offer just enough grit to evoke a sense of adventure, but still fast enough Wi-Fi to upload to Instagram. Tulum is one of these places. An hour and a half south of a land of body shots, tour buses, and selfie sticks known as Cancun, it's basically a wintering ground for flocks of New Yorkers. What was once a quaint strip of beach bungalows, popular with backpackers looking to stretch $1, is now somewhere you can get a $20 margarita. Which we did. The first stop on our working vacation is the Tulum Ruins. What was once a sacred port city at the center of the Mayan civilization is now ground zero for tourism. I don't know what I was thinking. Kind of assumed to be a little more, I don't know, like ancient and vacant.
It could all be Mayans.
These could be Mayans, yeah.
El Palacio de Gran Señor. Este es uno de los edificios en los que vivían los pobladores más importantes de Tulum.
You're like a regular Pablo Neruda there, Barney.
Oh, it's in English on this side.
Oh, great.
If you get really down low and compose like that from ground level, you can actually exclude a lot of the people too. For everything else, just using the viewfinder, optimal aperture for sharpness, around 2.8 to 4, shooting textures. As we learned, each building serves a purpose in the Mayan calendar as it related to the stars and planets. Here's our new friend Ernie to explain.
Inside here, including palaces, temples, and homes, we got 52 structures. Everything is being built according with the rotation and translation of the planet Earth going around the sun and the moon.
An hour and a half drive from Tulum lies the ancient city of Coba. Nestled in the jungle and less encumbered by throngs of people, it's more our speed. According to our tour guide, a vast portion of the ruins still lie under the cover of jungle.
Coba, it was a great Mayan town. It was ceremonial center, but it was commercial center. Coba covered an area 40 square miles. It is believed Coba it was the capital, and Coba is one of the oldest Mayan town.
Also, there are mosquitoes. Mosquito on my face.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you get that?
Almost. I'm using IAF to make sure your eye is in focus, and it's actually working pretty well.
What if I do this?
It stops working as soon as you close your eyes.
This is the big one you're going to visit. In Maya language called Nohochmul. Nohoch means big, mul means pyramid. So big pyramid is the tallest in the Yucatan peninsula.
wonder how many people fall off trying to take selfies.
Not enough.
Apparently selfies are more dangerous than sharks. More people die from
Really?
selfie accidents than sharks, yeah.
That does make sense.
You should do Selfie Week on Discovery. Unlike other pyramids in the Yucatan, you can still walk up Coba, at least for now. There are plans to soon cut off the route to tourists. It's a steep, uneven climb up the stairs, polished smooth by hundreds of years of foot traffic. The top offers a rare perspective of the otherwise flat countryside. It also offers an opportunity to try out the selfie mode on the RX100 IV.
The biggest spot is up there, the gods. All the good gods come from heaven. But in the Xibalba, which is the underworld, that's different.
In the Mayan worldview, the openings to the underworld are the sacred cenotes. These once dry caves, now filled with water, are one of the most stunning features of the Yucatan. To find out more about these bizarre underground worlds, we met up with Danny Riordan, one of the most experienced cave divers in the world, and also a total badass.
I've been cave diving in a lot of places around the world. I've been cave diving in France and Spain, Portugal, Russia, and different areas. But the diversity found here is found nowhere else in the world.
Danny is a certified cave diving instructor and has been involved in mapping miles of the caves in the area. He insists that he's not a photographer. You're like, I'm not a photographer, I don't even know how to use Photoshop, but you have had photographs in National Geographic.
I've been, I guess, lucky enough to be at the right place at the right time.
I mean, you'll be taking these cameras and you'll be our eyes, essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, what do you think we can expect to see?
You are going in a completely dark environment that's full of water and that has a ceiling over your head. Once we come back with some footage and showing you the areas that we're able to see, you are going to be so jealous that you're not there.
One of the most popular areas for cave diving is the Dos Ojos complex, just north of Tulum. It's comprised of a number of different cenotes, each of them unique in their character. Today, we'll be filming in the pit.
I am going to test that the regulators are functioning and there are no leaks, and that I have enough pressure.
So the first job is set up these waterproof housings, I guess.
Correct. Yes, we have our sealant. It's going to go in the O-ring, which makes sure that it's totally sealed, totally waterproof. Worst sealing job of the year.
Now, the one thing we didn't check was how deep these things can go.
We're going to find out. Yeah.
Daniel's going to go down to about 100 feet.
Yep, 100 feet today. They should be fine up to 200, but we're going to see. Joining Danny is Oz, also an experienced cave diver. He'll be shooting video for us on the RX100 IV.
Quite often we put the focus on fixed focus on the water because we don't really zoom in or zoom out and focus much. We just come closer or something, so we just set it on indefinite.
Yeah.
But we see how the camera deals with it.
Descending into the pit feels surreal, and it's clear why the Mayans saw the cenotes as the entrance to the underworld. These were the sacred sources of water that sustained an entire population.
There are several cenotes where water was pulled out of that was used just for ceremonial purposes. And they actually didn't mix the sites. They had places dedicated just for offerings, or they have some ceremonies in there, would not get mixed with the everyday use of water.
Well, they've gone down. I mean, I kind of wish that we were down there with them in a way. It looks beautiful, but it does play upon every single one of my major fears.
Which are?
Water, claustrophobia, having things placed over my mouth.
Is that a thing?
Suffocation.
Is that really a thing? Barney, this thing just crawled out of my ear. Is that bad?
Is that normal?
Maybe we don't eat at that taco place again. Within the caves lies a pile of prehistoric fossilized camel bones, a long extinct animal that once roamed the area.
Now imagine yourself swimming in this tunnel, finding these massive bones and finding a human skull and finding all these different animal bones. So then you start thinking, were people walking in here? Did the animal fall in there? Did the people bring it in here and we're storing it for food?
The footage we were able to capture is stunning. Hanging out with Danny and Oz was definitely a day well spent.
When it's locked on, it looks good though, doesn't it?
Yeah, when it's locked on, it's really good. It's nice.
On the next afternoon, we decided a bromantic boat ride was in order. So we headed to Sian Khan, a biosphere and UNESCO World Heritage Site located just south of Tulum. It's here that you'll find stunning mangroves filled with wildlife, and more Mayan ruins. So these are some Mayan ruins that are just kind of poking out of the water. And as the water level has gone up in this area, the ruins have been submerged underneath. It's sort of like the suburbs of Tulum. People would fish here, I guess. And I only got about half of that. It's also in Yucatan that you'll find a snaking freshwater canal that was hand-dug by Mayans. It's a winding boat ride to the drop-off point and a great opportunity to test out some of the video features on the RX100. That was actually pretty cool.
It was cool.
Yeah.
Did you get some 60p?
I did. I shot 60p.
Yeah, I got some higher frame rate 120 as the boat was going around a corner.
The canals are fed by the underground water that moves upward through the porous limestone and makes up the bedrock of the area. It flows at a leisurely pace, perfect for floating, which is exactly what we did. Now, the pros and the cons. For such a small camera, the RX100 Mark IV is impressive. It's very portable, has a great EVF, and has a reasonably fast lens. The still image quality is superb, and having a small 4K capable camera is very handy. Battery life, however, is relatively poor, and the lens is not quite long enough for some scenarios. Control layout also takes some time to get used to, and the small buttons can be an issue. But overall, it's been the perfect fit for our time down south. For DPReview, I'm Eric Becker.